Hey ladies, so let's chat about why you are feeling like his convenience and how to avoid being his starter wife, because most likely this is what's happening. You are his builder starter wife, and what to do. As you're joining the live, say hi, tell me where you're joining us from. I've just finished the masterclass slides. And yeah, over 200 of you have signed up for that live class tomorrow. So if you're joining us tomorrow on the feminine path to get back love, intimacy, and connection, just say hi, and I can't wait to see you. So I've just finished those slides. Actually, I finished them yesterday, and I am about to go watch my son's cricket game in an hour. So I'm like, let's talk about this aspect of being his builder starter wife. If you're joining us, say hi where you are joining us from. Okay, so what is a starter wife? We see this word being thrown around a lot. A starter wife is that wife who is with, usually the first wife, the woman who builds with her man, and after he has reached a certain level of success, he feels like you are not, the image of the vision of where he is going is not aligned with the woman who you are. So it's like you stop becoming, he's reached where he needed to reach, there's no more growth, so most likely he's gonna leave you and move to his next other woman. Okay, so greetings from Kenya, great conversations. Thanks Kenneth, and I hope you're treating your wife. I hope you're fully providing for your wife. Or if not, at least you're on your way there. Okay, so that is what a starter wife is. The woman who builds with the man, the woman who starts off with the man, and 90% of the times, these are the women who either just hang on by the thread for the rest of their marriage, or they eventually get upgraded. They get left for the next kind of a woman. Okay, so why is this important? Because so many of the women I am talking to do not realize they've positioned themselves as starter wives. The women who are building men, these women who are taking care of their men, it's like their children. And it's not your fault, because any bridal shower you go to, any auntie you sit with, you will be there, you'll be the one you will be told, build with a man. Even during premarital counseling, bring your money, he brings his money, and then you put it all together and you live life together. There is a lot of conditioning around this whole building aspect that women are going into marriage with that builder mentality already ingrained. It's not all the women, but many of the women. Okay, and even my story, at some point, I was a 50-50 wife. Okay, and 50-50 is not just about, you can still work. I still make so much money. I do what I get to do. I get to keep my money. It's not about your work. It's about how you've positioned yourself. Because if your man sees you like his dream woman, even if you quickly realize you do not want the 50-50 lifestyle, he's able to upgrade himself. He's able to say, okay, fine, babe, I understand. And he's able to do what he needs to do to make your life easier, to make you feel at ease. And usually the big reason why so many women do not receive this kind of treatment is, one, because of the position themselves poorly. What does that mean? You are the masculine force in this relationship. Okay, so you're always doing, you're always checking, you are okay. You're that kind of a wife who you are most likely giving 50%. Without your money, that home cannot run. Another sign, that's the first sign you are a starter wife, you are a builder wife, you're doing 50%. The second sign that you are a 50-50 wife, probably you can't remember the last time you went on a romantic date with your man. And why is it important? Why is that sign important? Because it shows the affection and romance is no longer there. Okay, usually for starter wives, it's usually a very transactional thing. Even if it starts off as love, because for most of us, it starts off as love. But if you continue leading with your masculine in the marriage, the man will just check out emotionally and physically, because guess what? He married a woman expecting a woman. Expecting that soft energy, expecting you to be a woman. But guess what? Yeah, because you have been taught to do, you have been taught to fix things. You are the firstborn. You are told big girls don't cry. You showed up with your big girl panties and you are like a man. Even if you wear $1,000 wigs, your energy is that of a man. Okay, so that's usually a second sign that you are headed on the starter wife path, or if you're not even, you actually are almost there. There's no romance. When you come home, it's just about bills, logistics, errands, nothing intimate. Yeah, and many of you come to me and they tell me, Linda, I want to get queen treatment. I can't remember the last time. My hubby has money, but even for him to take me out to the spa, to take me out on dates, it's no longer there. Yeah, and chances are is because of the positioning. And why does it work this way for women? As women, we go through our we have very many rites of passages. Yeah, and usually we are not equipped that well to handle these transitions. Motherhood is a transition. Even if there is no woman who has had to change, whether it's physically or emotionally, in one way, after you've become a mother, somehow all your mother hen, it's like you want to control because there are children there. And what usually many women do not realize, especially if you are in your wounded energy, you will want to control your children. You will want to follow up. What are they doing? Are they doing their homework well? Have they eaten? And then that energy also gets transferred to your man. Is he sick? Is he okay? Is he fine? Do I call him if he needs to make a business investment? In fact, this is another big thing I'm picking up quite a lot. Whereby if your hubby comes to you and is just talking to you, maybe offloading about his work and stuff like that, which is a good thing because it means he feels open to talking to you. But if he tells you about a challenge in the workplace, you are already there telling him how to handle the situation. You are already on it. It's like there's no time where you are just able to just be. And usually with time, what happens? You start to really be in the masculine, and then his energy around you cools off. And with time, before you know it, the first thing to go away is communication. You start to realize he's no longer talking to you as much. Because every time you talk to him, you're not really listening, you're not really receiving, you're always going into your head to problem solve for him. And that's another major aspect of being in your wounded energy. Hi Nisi, hi from Australia, thank you so much. That's a sign that you are in your wounded energy, whereby you can't even just sit and receive and be. Because deep down, you do not trust that this man is capable. I've even had some ladies who tell me, Linda, I want my hubby to provide, but I don't know how he's going to do it. So it's like you want something, but you're already the same one who does not believe you can receive it. So what usually happens is a man at some point, yes, he'll put up with this kind of energy. Yes, he loves you, you're the mother of his children. But the first thing to start going is communication. Okay? Then when the communication starts to go, what tends to happen is many women now want to rush to him to understand what's going on, what's wrong. You start to go into the chasing, anxious energy. And once that continues, you repel. Anything you constantly chase, it starts to run away from you. The second thing that starts to go away is intimacy and sex. And by the way, if you've not yet already signed up, please go to my profile. And that's the huge reason why I'm actually doing a live training tomorrow at 5:30 on the feminine path to bringing back intimacy and connection with so much ease, without chasing, without settling for less, and in a way that feels good. Because I feel there's a lot of teachings that we as women do not really receive. Yes, we have our MBAs, yes, we have our degrees, but you can have all that. If you have a lot of wounding from your childhood, you'll show up like another man and then kill the relationship just because of your approach. So if you're here, I want you to really reflect. Whatever you're doing in your marriage, is it working? Whatever you're doing in your relationship, are you enjoying intimacy? Are you enjoying fun time? Is your hubby sending you flowers just in the day just because he's thinking about you? Or is he even calling you to tell you, oh babe, I've just seen this, then you laugh on the phone? Is there that playfulness there? Because another thing is that starter wives do not believe that they can be taken care of. And that's a very interesting thing. Yesterday I posted that my hubby retired me. Why do I have to go to work? Why do I have to clock in? If I can do my thing, make my money with so much ease from the comfort of a lovely office, why do I have to go again and start hustling in the office? So you can already tell a starter wife is not used. She's never, and it's not her fault. It's simply because she's just never experienced what it means to be taken care of by men. And it did not probably start with her husband. It started probably with her dad. Maybe her dad was not present. Maybe the dad was, tough on her. Maybe she grew up knowing that she has to be strong. So she was the one who was the leader, who had to protect people, who had to provide for people. So for her, receiving is a very foreign thing. And that's why most of these starter wives eventually get left, because a man, especially a man who is moving up, we are talking about men, and so many men, even these 50-50 men, if they have proper women, if they have a different kind of woman, he would actually not be a 50-50 man. He would be working towards fully providing for his family. And it's not about your money. It's about your energy. It's about who you are. That's why I say if you're not getting whatever your needs are, because my needs are very different from your needs, it's because your approach is all over the place. It's a wrong approach. And the identity of a woman who's fully taken care of, and like I've said, my clients are very successful women. These are directors. Some of them sit in the board. Some of them sit in, huge meetings. Their men are not with them because of their money. Your money is supposed to be your money. You do whatever it is that you want. However, if your hubby expects you to put up money and give him money, it's because you've positioned yourself in the wrong way. Okay, what's my view on polygamy? Polygamy exists. There are so many lifestyles. There are open marriages, there are open relationships, there's homosexual relationships, there's polyandry, there's polygamy. All these things are lifestyles. It's just about you and what it is you decide. What do you value? What do you want? Okay, it's the same way you go to a buffet. There's everything. There's chicken, there's pork, there's beef. You get to choose. If you're vegetarian, you will not move towards the chicken counter. Okay, you go towards where the broccoli is. So for me, that's my take on polygamy. It's a lifestyle choice. And really, at the end of the day, it's up to you to to choose what you want. And I've seen with some clients, eventually some of their men decide they want to go from monogamy to polygamy. And then it becomes a question of, okay, so what about you as a woman? What do you want? Okay, and this is where we start to do the work. And one of the things I've seen from working with quite a number of clients is if you started off as monogamist, and then your hubby decides he's going to bring another woman and be his second wife, then usually it started off as a disconnect. They usually must have been, I have clients like that, yeah? Usually it starts off as a disconnection. What's a disconnection? Arguments over and over again, mothering energy, insecure love energy, you're always checking. These things at some point put pressure in a relationship. And since he loves you, he does not want to divorce you. He's like, okay, maybe the way to solve this problem, let me bring a second wife. Okay, it could be that. Or it could be he was just always a polygamist. Okay, so for me, it's a lifestyle choice. It's what you decide works for you. All right. So for me, I'm a monogamist, or wholehearted monogamist. So all these other alternative lifestyles, they don't work for me. Okay, so starter wives. And usually at what point do women start feeling the pinch of this starter wife lifestyle? Once you started to give birth and maybe you're on track, you have a very successful career, you're scaling, and you have children. And then you start to realize maybe you want a second child. And you go and have a conversation with your gyna. And your gyna is like, okay, maybe you may need to slow down a little bit. And then you have the discussion with your hubby and you realize he's not on board. He cannot understand, what do you mean you want to slow down your career? How are the bills going to be paid? So anytime you're going to have a discussion about money and your hubby is asking you, how are the bills going to be paid? Chances are you are his starter wife. Because if you are his dream woman, he'd actually listen and he'd start giving you attention. And like I've said, if that's the scenario you are in, it's likely you've positioned yourself wrongly. It's likely you've positioned yourself wrongly. Okay. So let's see, what's the other question? Let me see what other question. So those are the 3 signs I've given. You're a starter wife, you're 50-50. There is no affection in that relationship. Your hubby depends on you like a little child. Actually, the energy in the home, it's like you're the mother hen who is looking after everyone. And then another huge complaint is that you just never feel at ease. You never feel like your hubby does little tiny things, because that feeling of affection goes away. And I always really wonder, why is it that women want to work so hard? Why do you want to work so hard? And like I've mentioned, it's because of wounding. A lot of women have a lot of wounding. And what tends to happen, I'm 42, okay? As you move up towards, you mature a little bit, you start to see. Around 38, 39, this stage, many men are now beginning to get second wives. Many of them are beginning to move on. They call it midlife crisis. I don't believe in midlife crisis. I think as a person, if you've been living a lie, like you don't really know who you are, yeah? Many of us don't. I didn't know who I was until I started walking down this path to just become self-aware, to understand myself, to know myself. Many women do not. You will sit down and you will find your whole entire life, you're living a life based on what other people have told you to do. Somebody sat down and told you this is how a wife is. Somebody sat down and told you this is their life. Go, work hard, go to school, come back home, take care of people, blah, 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 and then work till you retire and then die. People are always programming you. And that's why at some point you have to stop and ask yourself, hey, wait a minute, this path I am on, is it my path? Is it taking me towards my goal? Is it towards my vision? Where am I really going? Okay, so back to the starter wife conversation. Let me see if there's any other question coming up. A starter wife is also a mentality. Mostly it's a mentality. People think women are left because of age. I don't think so. I've seen women who are in their 60s get married. I've seen women in their 50s get married. I don't think it's about age. It's just about who you are. And what starts to happen when you are this starter wife, where you're holding everything down, everything comes down to you in the home. Number 1, the man becomes passive. Number 2, you start to become resentful. Resentful means everything. You enter the house, at work you are unhappy, at home you are unhappy. Yeah? Nobody wants to be around that energy. So once you start to be like that, what tends to happen, you push people away. Another very interesting thing I've been picking up in my consultations, women are telling me they're losing their friends. And the more we have this conversation, it's not that they are upgrading their lives, that's why they're losing their friendships. There's a huge aspect on emotions, handling your emotions. So you find you're having an argument with your friend and you just blow up. Most likely it has nothing to do with your friend. It's just your own internal systems and feelings and thoughts. And it starts to reflect outwardly. So that is why a huge part of this work, once you start to embrace your femininity, once you start to live this way, you get in touch with who you really truly are. You get in touch and you become really self-aware, because all these triggers people are walking around with. People are walking around with all these triggers. You're blowing up on your friends, you're blowing up on your nanny, and I'm human. I know myself. The moments when I start to yell at my nanny, I know, hey, Linda, something is off. I'm very self-aware, at least in that respect. And even if I don't check myself, my hubby will tell me, hey babe, what's going on? Then we will have a conversation. But you see, if you're in a relationship that's disconnected, where everybody expects you to hold everything down because you've positioned yourself, nobody's going to check you. People are just going to look at you and start to distance themselves. So it's for that reason I put together this live masterclass, because as women, honestly, we are not 20 anymore. We need to start having these conversations. Yeah, I'm sure most of you vowed when you're in your 20s that you are going to do this motherhood thing, this wifehood thing completely different. But from the conversations I'm having in my DMs, no. It can't be like that. We are sisters, we are aunties, we are cousins to, all these young girls looking at women. And God forbid you are the cousin who is going to start telling your little niece that, oh yeah, marriage sucks, marriage is hard, marriage is difficult. Is it really difficult, or is it your approach? And that's why at some point you have to learn to question things. And you question them from a place of, when you sit down and you ask yourself, okay, this is the teaching my mom told me. My mom told me how to handle an argument is I keep quiet. Ask yourself, is it working? Or how to have an argument is to force your way. The question is it working? And this is something one of my mentors told me. She just asked me a very simple question, Linda, whatever you're doing, is it working? And once you start to reach that level awareness, once you start to have a mind of, okay, let me pause, let me reflect, my approach, is it working? Am I enjoying romantic dates? Am I having a good time? Most of the time, because it's not all roses and daisies every day. There are rough moments. Yeah? There are rough moments. You will argue. I mean, everyone has arguments. You will argue. But the thing is, do you have the tools and skills to communicate what you want? Do you know your pleasure points as a woman? Are you happy as a woman? These are the questions we need to start asking ourselves. Because the kind of women I work with, these are women who are really looking to create purpose-led family legacies. Those are the kind of women I'm looking for. These are the game changers. It's not about sitting here and chasing for more love from a man. You've been chasing for your entire life. At some point, you have to ask yourself, I'm hitting 40, okay? Yes, I want to stay married, but I'd like a radically different approach. If that is you, go to my profile, sign up for that live masterclass, because that is the first step to start feeling like you are loved and appreciated, and to how to move from being a starter wife to a taken care of woman is to realize that your approach has been wrong. It has to start from there. And for me, one of the most important questions I asked when I was separated, and I had to ask myself, Linda, even if you're to get another man who's wealthier than your hubby, what would you do differently? Because everybody loves to rush. And I'm not talking about relationships where there's violence I'm just talking about relationships where your man treated you with value, he loved you, went down on his knee, gave you the wedding, and then over time, you just started having arguments. Because the thing is, all relationships go through a rough patch. All relationships go through a rough patch. Yeah? All relationships go through a rough patch. And it really is up to you. And I respect the fact, if you feel you want to leave him, leave him. I mean, that's your choice. But I'm speaking to women who something still in your heart is telling you, I'm not so sure. If something is telling you, I'm not so sure, that's a sign that, you know what? You are beginning to realize you too have a role to play. And one thing I want to talk to separated ladies. I'm seeing this quite a lot, yeah? Yes, you're separated for a reason. But what's your plan? Like, seriously, what's your plan? Separation past 6 months is a waste of time. What are you doing? Nature abhors vacuum. What are you doing? You can't just keep sitting here, you're confused in and out, because I know one of the things, my son was affected by separation. It's not a joke. It's not just you two adults. So you either decide you are reconnecting the relationship or you're moving forward. And I'm speaking like this because my child was affected. People think that, and it's not like I'm just speaking because I'm the Pope. No, I'm speaking from real life experience. I think women, we think that our education was supposed to have ended with our MBAs. It does not work like that. Life skill, in fact, if you ask me, a woman whose life is dependent, how do I call it? These women who we think are easy women, whores, are wiser than very many smart, educated women. These women who are in strip clubs, when it comes to men, are 100 times wiser than a woman with an MBA. Why? For her, understanding the opposite sex is her livelihood. She understands men to the T because that's where her money comes from. But you see, the other assumption is you have an MBA, you think just because you have an MBA, you don't really need to understand men. There is that ignorance that we put towards relationship education. And I was like that. For a long time, I thought I had everything together. But it doesn't work like that because life skills, personal growth, personal development has nothing to do with whatever it is you're getting from an institution. Yeah? And I think if you are going through, finding challenges, it's really because, like I say, and I'll say this again, it's most likely your approach. And even if you feel you need to change your man, that's okay. Then still ask yourself, what would you do differently? What would you do differently? Yeah? There are some divorced ladies who decided they're never going to remarry. That's okay. That's their choice. But most of the women I talk to love their homes. And for me, my approach is that if you're looking to reconnect, it's not from a place of chasing. No, it's not just from a place of, oh my God, we go and reconnect, then we stay there. No. And that's what therapy does. Therapy, it's like it heals a wound. It does not make you grow and go into a more joyful space where you're fully provided for. And I have clients, some of them are therapists. Some of them are sitting counseling and they still come back to me and they're like, Linda, I'm not seeing how I'm going to get provided for. It's because therapy is just about focusing on your past. You are talking about your past, yes, so that you resolve the conflict. But what about after you resolve the conflict? Do you have the tools to be well kept? Do you have the tools to continue intimacy? Do you have the tools to continue creating a pleasurable lifestyle? And that's where the feminine path comes in. All right, so if you're ready to join the 200 women, my goodness, I am amazed. I was just looking at my dashboard and there are 200 women who've already joined the masterclass. If you're interested, please go to the link and sign up. It's tomorrow at 5:30. Guys, let's stop this starter wife movement. Yeah, let's stop this starter wife thing. If you like holding men down, that's okay. But I know deep down in your heart, I know you want to be well kept. I know you want to enjoy your lifestyle. You want to use your money. You want to enjoy intimacy. You want a man who takes care of you. And the most important thing, you want to regain your confidence in yourself as a woman. Ladies, I don't know, whatever age that you are, but the biggest gift you can give to yourself is your own toolbox, your own set of skills. Just the same way you have a degree. Any day I can wake up and I can get a job any day. It's not a big problem. It's because I have my own set of tools and skills. I probably can go into meetings and school so many people who are in their corporate jobs. I grow every day. I am into self-development. So we are not the same. The same way my career and education is on check, it's the same intention. Our lives need to be on check, just for our own sake as women. Because after all, we are the ones who are going to pass down teachings to our children. I really do not want to sit in another wedding hearing marriage is tough. What the fuck? Marriage is tough because? Why isn't anybody coming and saying jobs are hard? Why? Why are we talking life is tough? Why? Who has looked for a solution? Yeah, so let's not be ignorant. Let's rise together. I don't know everything, but at least the little I know, I'm passing it along. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. Let me go for my son's. He has cricket just now. So let me go and I will see you tomorrow. Let's see if there's any question. Have I missed any question? Have I missed any question? And oh yeah, before I leave, I need you to understand a man is a source of income. I need you to understand that. Your man is a source of income. I need you to understand that thing. If he is not bankrolling your life in any way, it doesn't matter whether he makes 20,000, whether he makes 100,000, whether he makes 500,000, whether he makes 5.5 million. If he is not improving your life in any way, and I'm not talking on survival basis, if he's not improving your life in any way, you need to come for my masterclass. There is something missing because men give to women. If he is not giving it to you, his wife, he is giving it to somebody. All right. So, and I know you deserve better. You are worthy of everything that you want. Being a fully taken care of woman is not just for some women who look a certain way. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter whether you're 100 kilos. I've once been nearly 100 kilos, so I can talk about it. It doesn't matter how you look. It's about your mindset and your perspective and your energy. Men are spoiling women. Husbands are spoiling women left, right, and center. The wedding institution is not going anywhere. People are marrying every day because it's the greatest institution. And that is why it's my calling. It's so far until today. This is my calling because I said I am going to leave a happy, healthy, generational legacy. If there's nothing else I leave for my son, I want to leave him a happy legacy. At least let him say, I had a happy mother. All right. So if that is you, I will see you tomorrow. And bye for now. Bye-bye.